व्रज जन रंजन यशोदा व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरावनचारि जमुना तीरावनचारि जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय राधा वल्लभ राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा। ओ प्रेमानंदी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभुचार्य सुत श्रीमद ऐसी भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद की जय। श्री श्री गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्री श्री राधा वल्लभ की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Panchakalptarubhaischa kripa sindhu cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swayam Padantikam. Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yudapada Kamlam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagna Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadbhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagna Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Tam Sajivam Vanchakalvatarubhaischa Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimrand Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Simati Tamal Krishna Goswami Iti Namane. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be speaking from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, Verse 11. Talks between Narad and King Parishanabhi. So, Nalini Nalini Nashe, Nalini Nalini Nashe, Gandhava Saurabhya Uchyate, Gandha Saurava Uchyate, Grahano Abohuto Mukhyasam, Grahano Abaduyuto Mukhyasam, Vipano Vagrasa Vidrashaha, Vipano Vagrasa Vidrasyata, Nalin Nalini Nashe, Gandha Saurabha Uchyate, Grano Avyahuto Mukhyasam, Vipano Vagras Vidrasha Nalin Nalinase Kandha Saurabha Uchyate Grano Abahuto Mukhesam Vipano Vagras Vidrasha Nalini Nalini Nasehe Gandha Saurabhya Uchyate Grano Vahuto Mukhyasam Vipano Vagras Vidrashaha Nalini Nalini Nasehe Gandha Saurabha Uchyate Grano Vita Mukhyasam Vipano Vagras Vidrashaha Nalini named Nalini Nalini named Nalini Nase the two nostrils Gandha aroma Saurabha Saurabha fragrance Uchyate is called Gandha the sense of smell Avahutah called Avadhuta Mukhya called Mukhya principal Ashyam the mouth Viprana named Vipana Vak the faculty of speech Rasavid named Rasajana expert in tasting Rasha the sense of taste. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki the two doors named Nalin and Nalini should be known as the two nostrils. In the city name Saurabha represents aroma. The companion spoken as Avadhuta is the sense of smell. The door called Mukhya is the mouth, and Vipana is the faculty of speech. Rasana is the sense of taste. The word Adbhuta means most free. A person is not under the rules and regulations of any injunctions when he has attained the stage of Avadhuta. In other words, he can act as he likes. This Adbhuta stage is exactly like air, which does not care for any obstructions. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Chapachalam hi manasa Krishna pramedhi bhavat driham tasyaham nirgaham manhe vayaho ivam sudhas karam. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong, obstinate and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it seems to me more difficult than controlling the wind. Just as the air or wind cannot be checked by anyone, the two nostrils situated in one place enjoys the sense of smell without impediment. When the tongue is present, the mouth continually tastes all kinds of relishable foodstuff. Hare Krishna. So, this is basically talking about the body and the different parts of the body and how they relate. Narad Muni has very beautifully explained how we are not this body, how the nose are separate, how the eyes are separate, and all these senses use different things to enjoy, just like the nose that needs the air, because air carries the aroma. And as the aroma goes into the nose enjoys it. Similarly, the eyes needs to see, but without the sun it cannot see. Without the light it cannot see. And similarly, the tongue, it tastes food. And And it also has dual purpose of that it can talk. So it can talk something good, which is Prajalpa, talking about that is not related to Krishna, and then talking about Krishna consciousness. So all these senses can be used in two different ways. You can use the eyes to see something different. You can use the nose to smell all kinds of stuff. You can use the tongue to actually taste different things. You can either taste things that is non-related to Krishna, or you can use all these senses in relation to Krishna. Just like Ambrish Maharaj. He used his eyes to see the deities of the Lord. He used his nose to smell the flower that was offered to the Lord. He actually used his tongue to taste the prasadam. He used his legs to walk to the temple. He used his hands to clean the temple. So similarly, this body, it does not belong to us. We are just like in the whole story, the Purjana is just a peasant in the city. The body is treated as the city. It has 9 doors and everything. That's what we are talking about. So we are not the body. The body does not belong to us. The soul is in the body. The soul is the peasant in the chariot. Chariot is different. Chariot is the body. So what we have to understand is how we can differentiate it. That's the first knowledge. And then we have to see that since we are not this body, what is the best use of this body? So Krishna has allocated us some of the resources, and this body is one of them. So we should use this body to actually get out of this. If you have read the whole chapter, if you have understood what he is talking about, how troublesome is to be in this body. The senses are always desiring for things like that. Also, if it is sinful activities we do, if we eat meat, and we take intoxication, we gamble. So what basically happens is we end up in more sinful life. There are 8.4 million different types of bodies. And the lower ones, just like trees and things like that, in that one you can't do anything. You can't even enjoy. We want to enjoy our life. But when you are stuck in a womb, you are womb in a stool, what kind of enjoyment is? Life of a pig, always living in a filthy place. So what we have to understand that when we look at other living entities, we try to think, we have already been here. Do you want to go back there? If you don't want to go back there, then you have to try to find a way so we can not go back there. And the only way is that when you get a human form of life, this is the only time you have enough intelligence, that you can understand the scriptures, you can take shelter of a spiritual master, and then you can get out of this. Otherwise, time after time, what we're going to happen is basically we're going to keep going up and down into this material world. Right? So we are very fortunate that we have taken shelter of a spiritual master. We have Srila Prabhupada as our leader, and he is from the spiritual world. So if we follow his instruction, we follow his teachings, we read his books, everything becomes much, much easier. Otherwise, we're going to keep going up and down. There are different types of human beings, or there are different levels of human beings. Some of them are just materialistic people. They have no idea. They're basically in mode of ignorance. They do not follow the scripture. They do not believe in God. All they want to is enjoy material life. Their life is non-different from animal life. And in Kali Yuga, most of them are like this. Very few, by association of devotees of whatever we did in our previous life, we get an opportunity to make advancement. Then we follow the scriptures. Even when we follow the scriptures, people still try to enjoy material stuff. So these are the people who are materialistic people. Their only purpose of life is this, how to actually get the most out of this. These are called karmis. They follow the scriptures, but they do it for their own satisfaction. Right? Then there is other people who actually get frustrated by all this. They have been doing this for so long, and all they realize there is nothing in this material world. Then they realize there's no happiness in there, and then they try to get away from this material world. So, not understanding the whole thing, they just avoid material nature. And these are called the Gyanis. They use the knowledge. So by knowledge, if the knowledge is not complete, at least they have this understanding that we do not belong in this material world. So they try to get out of this material world. And these are the ones who end up in the Brahma Jyoti. Right. And then there are the devotees. These are the people who have the true understanding. The first one is karmis. They have no understanding of the knowledge. The other one is they follow the scriptures but for their own benefit. The third one is they realize there is no happiness in there, right? So they get frustrated and they try to get the knowledge to get out of this material world. Once they try to actually go there in the material world, and because the constitutional position of the soul is that Satchit Ananda, so they're looking for Ananda, but there is no happiness there. So what happens to them? They come down. And since they have tried to become God, they try to become the proprietor of everything, now they get angry. So they say, there is nothing in this world. And these are the Buddhists. So those are the three stages, the karmis, the Mayavadis, and the Buddhists. One is frustrated, the other one is fearful of this material, there's nothing in there, and when they get angry, they basically say there's nothing in this material world, and everything is void. There's no Krishna, the material world, nothing. Right? We have to get above this. We have to become a devotee. And to become a devotee, you have to be devoted to someone. Devotee means there is a master and there is a servant. Right? So once we understand this, that there is somebody more supreme than us, the sun comes out in its time, the moon comes on its time, everything happens, the seasons happens accordingly, there must be somebody in control. And once we realize that there is somebody more superior to us, then we try to go and find somebody who knows about that. And this is where we surrender to the spiritual master. We just cannot find and surrender to anyone. We have so many teachers, we have been to schools, they're all teachers, but have they given us the correct knowledge? We have to find a spiritual master, somebody who knows about Krishna, somebody who understands about Krishna, somebody who can take us there. So gradually, as we progress, as we do more activities, as we become more purified, we go to different stages, right? So while in the material world, we can be materialistic. At the same time, while we are in the material world, we can be spiritualist, right? So just like Srila Prabhupada, when he was here, he wasn't in the material world, he was in the spiritual world because his consciousness was spiritual. So the most important thing is the consciousness. That's why we are called Krishna conscious. It's not the body does not change. It's not the activity remains the same. We still cook, we still eat, we still bath, right? But why do we do it? That's important. In what consciousness we do it. If it is in Krishna consciousness, then it is good. If it is not in Krishna consciousness, then everything is no good. Doesn't matter how good activity you do, if it is not related to Krishna, then it is sinful. Simple as that. So we can be in the material world and we can be spiritualists. Now those who are in the spiritual, in the transcendental world, we know they are spiritual, right? In Krishna Lok, there is no one who is materialistic. Does that make sense? But what about people in the spiritual world who are materialistic? Can that be? Spiritual world but being materialistic. Transcendental world, we understand that in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha planet, there is no. But what about in Vrindavan? Bhaumi Vrindavan, are there people who are materialistic? When Putana went there, was he spiritual or was he materialistic? So once we get progress, then we get to take a bath in a place where Lord Krishna is performing his pastimes. Even then, there is no guarantee that we're going to get out of this material world. Because you can be there and do not have the right consciousness. We cannot have Krishna consciousness. Just like the Brahmins, the wives of Brahmins, they surrendered completely to Krishna. What about the Brahmins? They were still there, but they did not have the right consciousness. They still wanted to be the enjoyer of whatever they were doing. They wanted to be the controller of whatever they were doing. Right? So we have to understand this. Once we take shelter of a spiritual master, which is most important, he knows the details, he knows what is important, he knows how to he knows about Krishna, and then taking his guidance, we can actually get out of this material world. Otherwise, we will be stuck from one body to another body. There's 8.4 million of those, right? From those who doesn't have legs, those who have legs, those who have wings, those who can fly, all of them. But nothing will give you happiness. Even you go to the heavenly planet, you become a demigod, even you become Brahma. Regardless of whatever you are, as long as we are material in the material world, there will be suffering. Even Brahma is not happy, He's gonna die one day as well. There's disease, old age. Our Brahma is more than 50 years old now, His hairs are getting white, And so eventually everything gonna end here. So the idea is how to get out of this. And this is probably one of the best times to get out of this. Because for the first 10,000 years, not even this 500 years when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, but more importantly, Prabhupada just arrived here. He hasn't been, 50 years now? 77? Yeah, 52, 53 years. So it's not long. His books are here, his disciples are still here, his temples are here that he has opened, He has personally installed these deities, Kornitai deities, So we have all his messages, we still have his shoes and things like that. We have got his paraphernalia, This is how recent it happened. So what Gaur Nitai did was they actually propagated Hare Krishna in India, in Bharat. But what Srila Prabhupada has done, he has done it in the same thing and distributed it to millions and millions of Jagai and Madai. Nityanand saved one Jagai in Madai, but Srila Prabhupada had saved millions of them. So this is our opportunity. If we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, if we follow his instructions, then we can get out of here. Otherwise, this will continue to suffer. It will just one body to another body. Sometimes it's an Indian body, sometimes it's a black body, sometimes in a woman body, sometimes in an animal body. We're going to just continue going from one to another one. Any questions, any comments? Yeah.
Now you said we can be born in Krishna's earthly pastimes, but still be in the wrong consciousness. If we strive in this body in the right consciousness, then will that mean we're going to get a good body and a good consciousness?
Yes, because it's progressive. So however purified you are, because when we leave our body, the mind, intelligence, and the ego goes with you. If your mind is purified, if your ego is purified, it's not false ego, it's true ego that we are the servant of Krishna. And if our intelligence is that we are not this body, we are part of Krishna, we are servant of Krishna, then when you leave your body, then you get that particular consciousness. And you get a body accordingly in a particular situation. So when we die, how do you know what parents we're going to get? Where will we be born? It's according to your consciousness at the time of death. And then it matches with a similar parent, a similar place, so that you can actually suffer or enjoy whatever your consciousness are. So those who are devotees, we generally take bath according to Jaiva Dharma is that we take bath in a place where Krishna is performing his pastimes. So when we are there, if you perfect our Krishna consciousness in there, then we get out of this material world. If we get attracted to Krishna, then we go out of the material world. So just like when Krishna was here, all those gopis who did not go to the Ras Leela for the first time, they stayed there, right? Their consciousness was not full Krishna consciousness, they were there. So, but when they came back, those who attended they took part in the Ras Leela, when they came back, by their association, by the pastimes they told what they happened, their consciousness was purified. They became attached to that and they wanted to do it. And when Krishna performed his pastimes, when he performed his Ras Leela, then they went in there. But it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? For example, Kamsa, he was there, he was in Mathura, he was born in Mathura, he was all the time there. But what happened? Similarly, there are so many demons like that. Few were very fortunate that when they left their body, they saw Krishna. But not everyone was there. Some of them went there just for, because it was a good place to be. Just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Navadip was full of people. But what was their desires? Some came for education, some come for this, right? So it doesn't mean that taking bath there we can fall down. When we say that, does the jiva fall down from the spiritual world? Yes, it does. This is how it falls down. But when you go to the spiritual world, when you go to the transcendental world where in the Vaikuntha planet, then you are 100% pure. Then you already know what your position, you know what your service, then you don't come back. Any other question? Yes, bro.
So one person is watching online and he's asking, how can we take shelter of a guru when he's not present with us or we don't have access to him because he's not visiting us?
Well, you have to take shelter of a guru who is physically present here. So you can't say that I can take shelter of Srila Prabhupada when Srila Prabhupada is not physically here. So first thing is you have to take shelter of a living guru. You can't just actually...
I think he means because of geographical restrictions.
Yeah, I'm trying to cover that both, right? So first thing you have to take shelter of a guru who is here. Second thing is that shelter of a guru does not mean that you have to be with the guru. So there's two things, Vapu and Vani. And in today's world, we have this technology where we can actually listen to classes from that, just like Jayapataka Maharaj is actually giving classes on a daily basis. Especially now with this coronavirus, it's become very karuna that all the spiritual masters are actually distributing their message all over the world through the technology we have got. So their lectures, one thing else you have to realize is that Srila Prabhupada is our Founder-Acharya. There's only one Founder-Acharya. And he has hundreds of gurus underneath him. And then once these gurus, there will be next generation. But all of them are following Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Srila Prabhupada's teaching is the basis. So by taking shelter of a guru, which gets you into the parampara, is basically meaning that we follow Prabhupada. So association of guru following instruction is reading Prabhupada's book, because that's what your guru and the gurus after them will be preaching. Right? And wherever the guru is, if you want his association, visit him. Today is not very difficult. Probably for the next 6 months you might not be able to do it. But after that, my advice is wherever you are, if you can get an opportunity to spend some time with the guru, it's greatly. We have gurus which have a lot of disciples, just like Jayapataka Maharaj has, I think, about 55,000 disciples, somewhere around there. So it's very hard to go and visit them, But you can follow his instructions. You can follow those who are following him, right? Just like when Srila Prabhupada was here, everybody did not have access to Prabhupada directly. That's why Srila Prabhupada made this system of a temple president. So the temple president would actually give the message to the GBC men, and the GBC men were the ones who were approaching Srila Prabhupada. So even the letters and everything that came to the temple president, and then that was distributed to that. So it's the same thing. You got senior God brothers, follow them, you got other gurus there, you can read Prabhupada's book in that way. So there's many ways in there. Take Only one question. Any other comments? Any other thing? Actually, we should take advantage of this time. I know it is a difficult time. People are locked, they're in lockdowns, they're in houses. Not many people are coming to the temple, and I've been talking to most of as many people as I can, as devotees, how they are going in. We see a lot of things, people complaining about. You look at in Facebook, they're blaming this and that. The truth is that nobody is to be blamed. This is all our karma coming together. Are we suffering individually or we are suffering collectively? And we should take this time. People have been working like asses, every day, morning, evening. Krishna has given us an opportunity, stay home and build on your sadhana, do more chanting, do more reading, This is the time to reflect on why things are happening there. This is not something that's happened for the first time. This is going to continue to happen. And then we know that we are not this body. So, work on your spiritual life. Try to take this opportunity to get out of this material. And in Melbourne, especially Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir, we have been so fortunate with all the prasadam we get. And I've been talking to people and they said, when you can come here, the deities are so beautifully dressed, there's always programs going on, there's so much devotee association and things like that, right? Now, we can't do that. We can't even come into the temple, We can't get association, We can't even hug devotees, We have to stay away from all of them, There's a distance of, you have to keep your distance. And this is a time to reflect that how fortunate we have been, that we had all these things available, Now devotees are craving for a little bit of prasadam and they say, Prabhu, I can't even get a little bit of prasadam, I can't go and have darshan. I used to do my service has been taken away. So our movement is basically based on separation and union. And this is the time of separation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached these things, Vipralamba Bhav. This is the time to actually worship the Lord in separation. And also to reflect how fortunate we are. So the next time when you come here, when you have darshan of the deities, when you have association of the deities and the devotees, then you can actually truly understand and appreciate and be grateful for what we have been given. Otherwise, don't complain, just reflect. You can do actually service. There was a devotee once who was actually making sweet rice for the Lord. And he was doing it in his mind, And then as he was making and he was about to offer it, and he was saying, okay, let's see if it is hot enough. And when he put his finger in the sweet rice, it got burnt. So this was all happening in his mind, but the effect was... So similarly, we can actually do that. We can come and offer our worship to the Lord here, And if we can actually, the more we can get our mind to think about all this, it becomes more powerful than coming and physically seeing Him. Because mind is basically the center from which all the senses are controlled. Mind controls everything. So if you can close your eyes and see Radha Ballabha, you can close your eyes, see Gaur Nitai. If you can close your eyes and see Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, then it's more powerful. Because then the mind gets purified, then all the senses get purified. Then when you come here, it becomes much, much easy. And with all the pictures on the internet and things like that, we can actually associate with the Lord much, much more. We can associate with the devotees like that way. Okay? So please take this time, wherever you are. By association, you can call devotees, talk to them. This is the time. We have got so many leaders you have to look after the devotees who are more neophyte, because they may not understand everything. They might need your guidance and help. And this is the time to do whatever you can to help them spiritually. Okay? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गौनिताय की जय, श्री राधा बल्लभ की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी।